Would I have changed anything in this photograph? No. I love the way it turned out. When I'm asked to create a portrait for someone, I need to know as much as I possibly can about that person so that I can put a part of them in the photograph. I want to capture something that means something to them. There's connection, and it doesn't have to mean anything to anyone else. And everyone else can look at it and not know all of the details. But that doesn't matter, because it has to mean something to the person that's in that photograph so that they have a story to tell. And for me, that's what it's all about, capturing something that really does tell their story. The idea and the concept to create this photograph has come from being inspired by her love and passion for reading. One of her favourite authors is Roald Dahl, and she loves the book Matilda. So I had this idea of creating something that would hang from the ceiling, it would spin, but it just wasn't going to work. So that's where I went back to that love and that passion of reading, and wanted to create something that had that little bit of mystery and fantasy, and something that was girly as well, like really feminine and sweet, and it was like a fairy tale. I wanted her to be a part of that. I wanted to hand make every element that went into putting this photograph together. So I found beautiful butterflies that I could print. I added legs so they could sit on top of the structure that I made to make it look as realistic as possible. I could have bought butterflies, but being able to make them myself and being proud of the fact that I created every part of it. It's just what I love to do. I could have easily printed a backdrop or bought one from somewhere, but I've been taking art classes and learning how to paint, and I wanted to create my very own sunset. I wanted it to be unique and different to anything else that was out there, but also have that beautiful texture that paint can bring to a backdrop. So I took on the large task of painting a 5 metre by 3 metre canvas backdrop, and it turned out so much better than I could have ever imagined. So coming up with this idea, this concept, I knew that the books had to be a huge part of the story, and I had this vision of her sitting on top of a large stack of books, and I knew that I wasn't going to find any books out there. I had to make them myself and cut out each piece, and I stuck it to sheets of plywood and used polystyrene for the centre of the books so that they would be light enough to pick up and carry. So being 10 means she's little, but we had to make sure with her sitting on top of the books, they had to be stable, that she wasn't going to go anywhere. So creating a structured support in behind the books meant that we could attach the support to the books because of that timber ply, making it really solid, and it wasn't going to move. We even tested it ourselves, and we made sure that Mum was close by at all times. So adding in these different elements with butterflies and flowers and vines really gave the overall impact of this image so many more different points of interest. It made it pop. The butterflies represent the fairies, and when you start to really think about a little girl's imagination, it just brings it to life and adds that connection. The vines and the flowers, they show age in the way that they're wrapped around the books and they've grown, and then that allows the butterflies to have the connection, the purpose to be in the story. So it just kind of brings it all together. going through every detail and every element to come up with something in camera as opposed to photographing a whole heap of different things and putting them together in post-production, that just doesn't inspire me. I want to build something, to create something, and for them to be a part of that process. Seeing her face when she arrived and just watching her throughout this shoot just made all of this so worthwhile. If I had photographed all of the different elements separately and tried to composite it all together in Photoshop, it wouldn't have created that experience for her. I mean, what little girl doesn't want a set made for her? You can get a little caught up in the adrenaline and the excitement of a shoot, and then you'll get back and you'll download your photos and you'll realize that you didn't get something. So after having done this many times, I've learned to always try to capture as much as I possibly can and sort of think forward in terms of, you know, the pose, the light, all of the different elements. But when I am selecting the images, I am looking for that one photo that I can work on, and then I might need to capture, you know, say for example, the moon at a different exposure to be able to bring that in to give me more detail. But at the end of the day, what I'm looking for is going to be that consistency throughout the image so that it looks like it's been captured as one image. I'm not going to bring anything in if it's not necessary, but there is a look and feel that I am wanting to create, and that comes right from the time of conception. When you come up with an idea, you have to already have that visual of what that finished image is going to look like. So for me, every single second that went into creating those books and the butterflies and all, you know, painting the backdrop, the hours, I knew in my mind what it was that I was going to create. When you're a kid, you allow your mind to imagine, to escape, to wonder. And when you can bring that to a photograph and bring those stories to life, that's what creates the experience. That's what we remember. That's what I want to share. Would I have changed anything in this photograph? No. I love the way it turned out.